Hey guys, it's Shannon. This is going to be Chelsea's 2-month update, although she is 10 weeks old right now. So I guess it's going to be her 10-week update. Let's see. We've been doing pretty good. She started smiling at about 6.5 weeks. She's making lots of little sounds, which is really cute. She's still in size 1 diapers, although she's wearing size 2 right now because we just ran out of size 1s, and I have 2 bags of size 2s upstairs, so she's wearing size 2 right now. We had her doctor's appointment last Wednesday, and she was, I believe he said 25.5 inches, which seems a little long, but that's what he said, and she's 11 pounds 6 ounces, and in the 60th percentile. She had to get her shots. She had 2 of them, 1 in each leg, and she did great. She hardly even cried. She cried a little bit for each shot, and then she calmed right down after that. We did give her a little bit of baby tempra before we left for the appointment, and she didn't get a fever or anything like that. Her highest temperature was 98, so she did really good. What else? This little one has been a tough little girl. I guess when we got pregnant, we just assumed that our second child was going to be as easy as our first child. Blake was a super easy baby. He never cried. He was always happy. You could put him down anywhere and he would do great. So we just assumed that she's going to be the same way, and no, she's like the complete opposite. I guess she's a little bit of a high needs baby. She just started getting the separation anxiety thing already, where she doesn't like to go to anybody but me. And even with my husband, like, she'll get fussy with him, and as soon as he passes her to me, she calms right down. Which was kind of a bummer, because on our trip to visit my dad and my dad's family, everybody wanted to hold her, and they really couldn't because she would cry. And it's really hard on me too, having to always be the one holding her like 24/7 without any breaks. What else? She doesn't like to be put down. She will go like for maybe 10 minutes in her bouncy chair, and she'll just get bored and start crying. And she doesn't really like her swing all that much. She'll probably go in her swing. If you get her like really drowsy, she'll fall asleep in her swing. But if you put her in her swing awake, she will probably cry right away. She just likes to be held, which is very tough because you're trying to get things done around the house. Like, I want to clean the house up, I want to do the dishes. It's really hard. And not to mention I have a toddler that wants to play, and he needs lunch and bum changes. Actually, not really bum changes because we're potty training, but I mean, it's just hard to have a baby that always wants to be held in your arms. What's wrong? Blake's down there. He's actually sitting on the potty right now. She does pretty good with feedings. We're exclusively breastfeeding now, and she feeds about every 3 hours. But not always, because she likes to comfort suck. She doesn't take a soother, so sometimes when she's tired, she likes to nurse to fall asleep, and that kind of sucks too. And even when she does fall asleep, I try and put her down somewhere and she wakes up immediately. You're a tough little girl, huh? Night times are great. We are co-sleeping. Because of the high needs issue, she won't sleep in her own bed. We try. We put her down at night. Once in a while we've got lucky, and we'll put her down when we go to bed in her bassinet, and she will stay there until her first feeding. I do feed her in bed, laying down, which seems to be the easiest for us, and she's happy doing that, and we both get a lot more sleep doing it that way. We wake up around 8 o'clock in the morning. So I am getting my sleep, which is good, because if I was sleep deprived and having to hold her all the time, I would be exhausted. Not to mention Blake. Okay, wait a bit, baby. Blake is potty training right now, which isn't going the greatest. He is already past 3, so a lot of his friends are already potty trained by now. He doesn't tell me when he needs to pee. We just have to keep reminding him and get him to sit on the potty every once in a while. Sometimes he pees like immediately, sometimes he takes like an hour. So it's a little frustrating. And obviously he doesn't number 2 in the potty yet. That's the hardest part, I guess. So we're working on it. We're staying home as much as we can because when you're potty training, you can't really go out anywhere. Let's see. We put away all her newborn clothes. She's wearing size 3 months now, and which is really sad because she has a lot of cute newborn clothes and they don't really get to wear them for very long. Let's see, what else? She really loves this rattle. We bought her this rattle at Walmart, and before our trip we actually lost it. So as soon as we got to my dad's house, we bought her a new one, which I can't find right now. The other one actually has a teeter on the end. She loves it. Whenever she's fussy or crying, it's the only thing that'll calm her down and get her to stop crying. Let's see what else. So we did go on our trip. We just got back last week on Tuesday at 2 in the morning, so I guess that's really Wednesday. The start to our trip was awful. We drove about 4 hours and started having car trouble. We left at 8 o'clock at night, thinking that the kids would sleep the whole way there because we left at nighttime. But when we started having car trouble, we didn't really want to risk driving in the dark at night and having the chance of breaking down on the side of the road. So we just got a hotel for the night in hopes to get it fixed in the morning. But they couldn't see us until noon. So we just tried to drive again, and the car was fine. It didn't have any problems. So we just drove, and the car ride was a little bit awful. She doesn't like the car seat. She doesn't like being in the car. She cries a lot. We had to stop a lot. Blake was saying that he wasn't feeling good a couple times, which scared us because we thought maybe he was getting car sick. So it took us a long time. We didn't get to my dad's until 1 o'clock in the morning. The trip was really fun. We did a whole bunch of things. We saw lots of family. And then the trip home. We drove for 2 hours, and then we started having car problems again. We never had any car problems our whole trip until 2 hours into the drive home. So we stopped because it was really bad this time. Got a hotel room. Couldn't get the car fixed because it was a Sunday. And then we couldn't get the car fixed on Monday because of the holiday. And Sunday because no mechanics are open on Sunday. So we couldn't get the car fixed until Tuesday morning, which ended up costing us $360 and plus 2 hotel nights, plus all the fast food we had to eat because we had no food with us. So it was a very expensive ride home. And again, she didn't do very good. She cried a lot. I sat in the back seat a lot to try and get her to not cry. We shook the rattle a lot, but we made it. It seems like we were never going to get home. It was a 17-hour drive from where we were. So, needless to say, we are not doing any long road trips for a while. Now, let's see a little bit about me. I have 9 pounds left until my pre-pregnancy weight. I'm back into all my pre-pregnancy clothes, and my rings fit again, which is nice. I stopped having postpartum bleeding at 5 weeks, and I haven't had anything since. I went to the OB when I was 5 weeks because I was having really heavy bleeding, and I did have an ultrasound, which they saw a little bit of placenta fragments, I guess they said, but my doctor seems to think it was just my period, and he told me to just go home and come back in 4 weeks and we'll see what happens. And everything's been great. I haven't had any bleeding or anything, so I still need to book that appointment with him. He did give me a prescription for birth control, which I have not taken yet. Well, I haven't even filled the prescription because I'm not sure if I want to go on birth control. He says it's safe for breastfeeding, but I also heard that birth control can decrease your milk, but he assured me it wouldn't. But I'm just not sure if I want to go on birth control altogether, so I still haven't taken it. I'm still deciding. I know he's going to give me